I am but an errant foolish knight, my sword hand pierced upon the thorns of courtly love. Truly, I have courted all, as if romance is my questing beast. So many maidens, draped in mysterious heraldry. The houses of Dolce, Gabbana, Dior, Gucci. I returned to Londonwick 6 years past, though it seems I have lost centuries in a pleasurable fugue. This age is so strange, and yet. The May Queen still assumes a new form each year, as do those mistresses hitherto unknown to me. Miss June, Miss July, and so forth. I have kept extensive records of their illustrated literature. Oh, the one true king thought I gave myself too fully to chivalric pursuits. But to woo is as much my life's work as to defend his realm. And I weep at where his chasteness left him, slumbering forever in Avalon, alone, where once his marital bed was most accommodating. My charge as Knight of the Round is to safeguard this grove from the coming darkness. For lo, ages past, the Grail Cup was brought here, aflame with golden nectar supped from Gaia's fertile bosom.
Sometimes you take tree-hugging to a new and creepy place, John.
Yet you too feel the pull of magic, passionate, even sensual to this ancient oak. That is why light and life have thrived in its great shade, blossomed, become ripe, heavy in fruit. 'Tis too much.
'Tis way, way too much.
When first I arrived, the Templars challenged my right, claiming this park was theirs alone to ward. Also that my dalliances with those ravishing twin sisters was improprietous. In both affairs, their understanding of the pursuit of beauty is so sadly wanting. Mark my speech. This is nothing less than the city's most sacred place. Only a lover could defend it. Indeed. 'Tis a storied cast of players who inhabit these Ealdwic grounds. Fairy Ken, knights true, mighty sorcerers. Perhaps the ages have not changed so much. And the temptresses. Such temptresses of every hue, every color of dress. Many times over have I been advised to keep to my own affairs. At least many other times I recall the term affair being brandished. Thus it was with great cautiousness of judgment that I took in the fair Callie of the Tartans. Yet a knight without a squire is as a lance that thrusts untrue. And none could ask for a squire more fiery or independent than she. Fervent were her virtuous rejections, and I have responded twofold, sixfold, a scorefold with renewed oaths of eternal fealty. Would that I recall the words once she spake. Ah, yes, yes. John, your sword is not going anywhere near my stone. Ah, such japery! I harbored such hope that Templars and I would share in the bonds of chivalrous kinship. Our nights enlivened by the camaraderie between young minds, the vigorous debate of cardinal virtues. Alas, I have been expelled from their halls again and again, even as I protested the profundity, the genuineness of my feelings on this matter.
There are kind of laws against the way you profoundly and genuinely feel things.
I suffered them to cast doubt upon my honor and knightly lineage.
I had to suffer them casting you into the street without your clothes. That was an eyeful.
I had partaken of the pool. I could not fault their zealotry, yet their humility leaves much to be desired. 'Tis not a knight's place to impose his order upon the world. For whom do Templars rule? Themselves? or the people of the land. Verily, I would pine for the counsel of my lost brothers in forgotten Camelot, were there not so many distractions. Beautiful, beautiful distractions. Ah! Le monde invisible. A stranger creature never did I encounter in all my travails. 'Tis a darkened veil, drawn down between us and the lives of good common menfolk and women. Who celebrates the May Rain? How different the stories told around the glow of television, if any tell at all. I am rebuked by Templars and others. Should I recount my deeds to a passing maiden by way of courtship? Even said maiden regards me with sly incredulity and speaks, "You don't have to look funny, John, just buy me a drink."
I found him out at the tower blocks once, asking them to let down their cornrows.
And yet, when children give me audience, I am reassured that they still dream of being comely princesses, bold knights, players of ball games. Fair Callie, is this not the real life? Am I just a fantasy?
Art thou caught in a landslide?
Ha! You jest. But I think it be the jest of life. Excalibur. The singer, the opener, the ender. You should know the one true king wielded like a sunrise. And lo, every face in the land was upturned to it, living and dead. 'Twas Gaia herself who proffered the blade to him, in one story from a pool of golden honey, in another from a well of blackest night. Merlin told me both. I know not which was more true. He was touched in the head, mayhaps driven so for the jealousy of Morgana's thighs. Yet that is another tale. One I fear I could not recount in the detail its ravishing subject deserves.
Never mind the psycho redhead. What happened to the sword?
Like that flamed-haired sorceress, it passed on. Dream. It came upon us to unlock the mysteries of the world, and then it disappeared. Back among them. Never did I set eyes on it again. The ghosts of Avalon still repeat its song.
Let's make a deal, yeah? You and me, no patronizing. I get the feeling we're in the same boat, so fair's fair. You've got that look. Yeah, that one. Like you've seen the end of the galaxy. And I've grown up pretty fast since I learned I could start fires with my head. Bang goes the ballet school dream. Bang goes the ballet school. Try explaining that one to your parents, or to the police. So I ran away from home and ended up here. It's really put teen angst in perspective. Back then I used to worry about fitting in. Now I worry about people disappearing and never knowing if they've skipped town or were pulled through a shadow. Or if they switched sides. However many sides there are. Or if they'll try to have me sectioned under the Mental Health Act of 1983. So much for Gran always being my shoulder to cry on. I am so not a city girl. I grew up near the Yorkshire Moors, where you can just walk away from town and be in the old hills. In the smell of summer heather, the crackle of burnt cut grass. Everything is magic still. My report cards were always, Callista needs to concentrate harder. But I was concentrating. Just maybe not so much on maths or physics. That wasn't real to me. You couldn't live in a place like that and not believe all the legends. Well, I couldn't. After my accidents, I don't even remember how I made it to London, or found my way to Ealdwic. In the shadow of this great tree, it's like being back in my countryside again. Mr. Rosenbaum took me in at the hotel, gave me a room just like my old one. I prefer to sleep in the park. The stars are as clear as crystal here. You can see the beginning of the universe. Okay, so John's a bit of a lech. He keeps his hands to himself, though, more than my old classmates would have managed. They'd think courtly love was something that goes on behind the gym. John's a gentleman, a proper knight. Or he thinks he's one, and that's good enough for me. I learned to read from Arthurian literature, always hoping a knight would come questing past my window astride a white charger. What? Like I said, it was tough for me to fit in. You don't find my idea of romance on Hollyoaks. Their loss. Anyway, I look after John, like a good squire should. It would be a bigger deal if he had a real horse, or an actual sword, or if the enemies of the glade he's always talking about ever showed up. Mostly, I just hold his hair out of his face when he's had too many ciders. Oh, short answer. This is just awesome. All my life, I believed, I knew, the world was a strange and magical place. And it really is. Getting pushed down the rabbit hole, not so great. I didn't try to be a pyromaniac, it just happened. Over and over. I didn't ask to hear Gaia's voice in the buzzing of the bees to learn the things she said there. And I'm homesick. I miss my mum and dad. I hate writing them guilty postcards with no return address, telling them that I'm really okay, that I'm alive and not on drugs or selling myself. I hate thinking they're disappointed in me. They thought I'd be a painter, maybe, or a dancer. Not a wizard. Wizardess. Sorceress. It's like having the most vivid dream, but still remembering how it felt to be awake. How normal. Only you can't wake up. I haven't signed up yet. I don't want to rush into it, and it's not like I'm an automatic Templar. Templars? Templar. Just because I'm here doesn't mean that they get to say Bagsy. There's still so much I have to learn about magic. Where it came from, how to control it. Retardant foam is a nightmare to get out of your hair. I'm keeping my options open, listening and watching. Illuminati guys used to come to the Horned God all the time, trying to tip and complaining about warm beer. Not as much now, since they decided to rewind 400 years of peace and start penetrating each other. With bullets. Bullets! But I guess I'm Templars material when it comes down to it. I'm just not sure if they believe in the chivalry I do. If it's just a uniform to them, and not the heart beneath it. I love the whole knightly ideal. I want to get Beardsley Sir Bedivere tattooed on my... Whoa! Shut up, Callie. Has anyone told you you're a really good listener? Even before the fainting spells started... Wow, spells. That's a good one. Even before those, back when I was halfway to normal, I would hear voices. Just one voice, really, but in different places. In the rustling of the corn, the waves on the coast, the wind off the moors. It was gentle and soothing, even if I didn't understand the words. Like when I was little, my mum singing me nursery rhymes in the old cottage. Oh yeah, we were a total bunch of hippies. John told me it was Gaia, this great, mythical, beautiful woman. Although, of course, everything in John's world is a beautiful woman, right? God, I'll never look at lilies the same way again. But Gaia, she's not cross with us, not even disappointed, which kind of makes it worse. She picked us out for a reason, but won't tell us what it is. How does her garden grow?